heading into this Washington State game, I feel like that 19 game winning kick's probably gonna, come up, and just wanted to ask about what it's like to reflect on that, especially with how much you've grown this year with your body of work.
For sure, yeah, they definitely don't like me up there, but I don't like to think about the past too much. Like I don't want to think, oh, I made this kick that week. Obviously I want to kick a game winner every week, but just another game, just same way I've been approaching every game. Just have fun, go out there and do my thing, just relax. I think it'll be good weather, good game. I think it'll be fun, but I can't think, I don't want to look back and be like, think a certain way about a game because of a way I played it in the past. You know what I mean? So.
Just out of curiosity, because so much was made about what Thomas said to you before that kick. Has he talked to you this week?
Graham.
Thomas Graham.
Yeah.
Oh, Thomas Graham.
Number 4, used to play here.
Okay, yeah.
Little guy.
I was thinking Tom Snee. I thought you were talking about Tom Snee. That was really cool. That was a cool moment. I think there's a lot of pictures out there of that, and I think that was just a really profound moment and just kind of showed what our team was during that time. But him and I just prayed for a minute there and just, helped me relax. Just the fact that I had my teammates back, especially a guy like him who was, one of the better players, one of the leaders on our team. It was just cool to see him, be there for me in that moment, and I think that was really helped me, calm down.
But like I say, has he talked to you in the last couple of weeks or this season at all?
I haven't spoke to him in a while now, but yeah.
What's it like kicking in 20-mile-an-hour winds and rain going sideways? because that field goal, it was pretty definitively good.
Yeah, it's kind of fun. It gives you something to change your aiming point a little bit. We had a little bit of a crosswind, so I had to kind of play it a little right. But it was something pregame. We actually warmed up on that side, so I had plenty of opportunities to see how it was working. And me and Tom were talking about it and seeing how the ball reacted every time I kicked it. And I went out there. I was like, all right, I'm gonna aim this at the right upright. And Tom's like, all right, sounds good. And just
was that why they came over to that side too? Because ordinarily, I would think isn't that kind of like a pregame no to cross paths with each other? But it looked like pregame both sides were.
I did notice that too. What I normally do is we kind of warm up twice. So we'll have our pregame warm up where we go out with no pads or anything. So I'll go on that opposing sideline. And pregame it wasn't really that bad. The weather wasn't really it wasn't whipping like it was when the game started. So I think their kickers probably wanted to come see what it's like over there because they had the wind at their back. But it's a big no when the clock starts ticking down. The refs kind of kicked them out. So I was cool with that. We knew our space,
Coach said it was a tough decision not to have you come out at the very end of the game and kick that. I think it was 49 yards.
Yeah.
Are you asking him to go out there? Is there a process you have in terms of or talking to your coaches and telling them that you're comfortable making it, or is there any of that conversations before that?
Sometimes, yeah, for sure. Especially, we actually had to talk to Coach, or mostly Coach Bobby, about after that safety where the wind blowing hard in the face, if you're going to punt it, if you're going to kick it. There's a lot of things that come down to that. But as far as field goals, they know. They see me kick every day. They know what I'm capable of, and I want to kick it all the time. I wanted to kick that, but it's obviously maybe not the best decision when it's fourth quarter and the wind is whipping right in your face. A 50-yarder maybe isn't the best call when we could pin them on the 10-yard line. So I'd love to kick every opportunity we have, but it's sometimes it's not realistic, and the conversation isn't always there. But that's okay because Coach Chris Ball knows what I'm capable of. He knows what to call.
How tough was kicking off there, though, and especially in that first quarter when you're facing so much? How challenging was that? And you try to change your trajectory on the kicks at all, or is there alterations made? Or
try to. You don't want to change too much because you start driving it. You hit too high on the ball. It's going to be a little bit more unpredictable. But you got to drive it. And some of them I wasn't, and they were just getting caught up in there. I kicked the ball. It looked like it was coming back towards me. I was like, oh man. But it's out of your control. You got to do what you can. You got to try to play the best ball you can. Like a golfer who kind of hits the ball under the wind, kind of hits lower balls. Same kind of idea. Same thing I did in the field goal. Try to keep it a little bit lower, but obviously there's a line right there, so you can't go too low. But yeah, that was something I was definitely thinking about.
Is there any way you can prepare in the off season for those types of conditions? Maybe not that extreme, but I can't even think of a way to get yourself ready without just being in that condition and doing it.
You don't necessarily need to, because kicking is kicking. My form isn't really going to change regardless of what happens. It's really just right before the game. That's when you want to prepare the most because every condition is going to be different. Every wind is going to be different, and the wind's going to change mid-game. So, a lot of times in the winter, I'll come out and kick in the rain and stuff just to kind of get a feel for it. But it's not something you really need to prepare for. It's something that's just going to happen naturally, and you're just going to have to adjust in each individual moment, watch the flags, see what's going on. But
do you have a different rain cleat or anything? Because guys are losing their foot. Like KT even lost his footing. So like, do you have something different for that particular?
I try not to wear leather in the rain. I have some leather cleats and like some synthetic ones, but I just wear the synthetic ones. But I like I've got a bunch of cleats I like them all.
I guess to get super nerdy, what's the difference?
Well, synthetic. Yeah, I love talking about this stuff. So that's I'm a cleat nerd. But yeah, synthetic leather is it's not real leather. It's fake leather, and it's more of a plastic kind of material, and the water doesn't really soak up. So it's actually an older pair of cleats I actually have had since my freshman year. So I'll break those out when it's windy and rainy, and I don't want my leather cleats to get soaked up with water. So it kind of repels it a little more.
I guess does it come off different? The ball come off your foot different compared to?
Not really.
Okay. I was just curious.
Kim, I think it was either you or Tom. We were talking earlier in the season just about how you guys can relate being specialists with the isolation that kind of comes with practicing. But like a quarterback needs to get in their rhythm with the offensive line, with him being your holder. I'm curious what that relationship's like with you guys on the field as far as being in sync there.
Mm-hmm. Well, he definitely gives me a lot of confidence because he's one of our leaders on our team, and he knows what he's doing. So I think we definitely have a close relationship there because I have to have so much trust in him. He is in control of what I do. But same with Karsten, the snapper. So I think it is a unique relationship between a snapper and holder and a kicker because it's just such a trust factor. When it's raining and the ball's soaking wet, I can't slow down because if I slow down, they're going to block it. And if I go, and I got to keep my pace and trust him because and they got all the holes down. They were doing an awesome job with soaking wet footballs. So it is definitely a unique relationship where you really rely heavily on one person to do something so, consistently every single time. It's undervalued for sure, undervalued skill.
What makes Karsten so good at what he does? Because there's virtually nobody who can actually rank long snappers other than people like yourselves or specialists who deal with them. But like preseason, he was ranked like one of the top 3 long snappers in America. So what is it about him that is so good?
Well, consistency is the biggest thing when it comes to really any specialist. Snap speed, spirals. He throws the ball really fast. He gets the ball back there quick, under 0.65 seconds every single time. And the consistency, he does it every single time. So you don't really hear about him messing up a whole lot. And he's one of the best players on our team, and no one really knows about. No one knows about that. No one realizes how good he actually is and what a value it is to have that until you watch, Washington snap the guy over. Like it's just, you don't notice that kind of stuff. But I think that's what makes him so good is the fact that he does it every single time.
Can you put into context just how good 1.6 seconds or 0.6 seconds is? Like,
yeah,
we don't know anything. We don't have anything to compare that to.
A good snap time is anything under 0.7, but he's 0.64, 0.63. That's just from snap to catch. So that's something we value a lot because that gives Tom 0.05 more seconds to, take his steps and be more comfortable, which doesn't sound like a lot, but when there's a bunch of guys running at you and you need to be on point, that's that extra 0.05 seconds that he can deliver every single time is super valuable to us.
Your 2019 and 20 seasons are so much different than your 21 in terms of the success. Is there psychologically, are you managing anything differently? I'm not saying are you preparing differently, but do you recognize the difference between those 2 years and kind of what's that been like for you?
I think, I'm a lot more comfortable. And I'm definitely having more fun. I was too, you're too hard on yourself sometimes. You just put too much pressure on yourself. And I was just afraid of messing up. And I was looking around. I was like, I don't want to, I was scared I was going to mess up. And, whenever you mess up, or you're scared of messing up, that's what you're going to do. So I think I just kind of learned to accept whatever's going to happen is going to happen. And just trust myself, trust my abilities, and just really have fun. That's what it comes down to is have fun. If you're having fun, you're not playing football for the right reasons. Football's it's a sport. It's meant to be fun, and I wasn't really having as much fun as I should have been having back then.
Was there like a moment or a series of moments that led to that change where football became fun for you because of something that happened or something that changed?
I would say last season, just realizing how hard I was being on myself and realizing how much pressure I was putting on myself, and talking to my family, talking to my friends, and just they're like, why are you so serious? Why do you care so much? It just doesn't matter, It doesn't matter. It's such a small part of my life, football. I need to just enjoy the time I'm here, And when I started having fun, it just got better and better.